again. Good evening. So, I think because the weather is nice outside, so people decide to enjoy the weather, that's fine. Because we don't know what's going to come the next couple months, especially next months of our winter. So, as tradition, is always good to start the year with Spiritist message. Spiritist message. We are not here in a position to bring new things, because we already have all the information that the Spirit has brought to us. What we thought to do today is just revisit what the enlightened Spirit has brought to us. Because of time, we're not going to go to several messages, but I think there is a couple of messages that we should bring to our attention in order for us to start the new year with a positive note. So again, happy 2019. So 1 year to go. Although we know that in the spirit world, time doesn't exist. So for those that are on the other side, depends of the level of vibration they are living whatever they have planted, okay? So we learn especially in the Andrea Luiz books, that for the spirit, for us, when we discarnate, depends of the condition the spirit is, time doesn't exist. And this is good if we are living in a very nice life. So we enjoy that bliss of happiness, and that's something that happens with spirit that is more high sphere. But it's not good for those that are in the lower zone, because they are reliving a situation that was really impactful in their life. Why we start our conversation with this note? Because we need to do our evaluation what we are doing here in this physical body. What is our, I would say, goal? What is our resolution for the new year? And how this is going to impact our life from today on? Because what happened last year is already past. And we like this this quote by Chico when he said, "Don't worry about the past, worry about the present, because what you do now, you can have a nice future." So to start our talk or our conversation, we wanted to revisit this message from Emmanuel entitled New Year's Letter. I mean, we have been presenting this the last couple years. And every time we read that, it seems that is the first time we are seeing this. And the question is, do you guys remember what Kiss and I discussed last year? January last year when we opened the new year, because Kissing was here with me. We read this letter. And I think the proposal is that, okay, whatever we learn tonight, let us try to go back as problem arise during this new year of 2019. So it's like we set our beginning in a positive note. So I would like to read this first message, because I wanted to make some comment on this message. I spent a lot of time reading this and try to really extract the best of the message. Although, if you read, you're going to extract what is related to you, what is related to your life. Because it's a question of interpretation, depends on the level of mental emotion you are. You're gonna highlight some part of the message that will resonate with your life. So that's the idea. So, but let us do this together. So Emmanuel, in this book, Vida y Caminho, that is not in English, that was psychographed by Chico Xavier, would be Life and Pathway, something, journey, I don't know. So he starts saying the new year is also an opportunity to learn, true, to work and to serve, to learn, to work and to serve. He starts with these three things that is important for us. So for 2019, he already invited us for these three things: to learn. Learn what? Learn what? Anything. Everything that will improve our life, that will open our horizon, we should devote time to learn. Just work. It's not the work in to put food in our table. This is an obligation, but this work is that go beyond the professional work. Could be a charitable work, could be a work at home, could be anything useful, as Spiritism has redefined work to us. And to serve, that, is serve any situation that we are capable for. In another word, he's talking about charity. As a fatherly friend, time reincarnates in the body of the calendar, unveiling for us the clear horizon required for our ascension. So he used this poetic way to talk about a new phase, a new moment, a new year. Because he used like the body, the time reincarnates in the body of the calendar. That's beautiful, isn't it? So it's telling us that, look, 1 year is already gone, so the time is getting short for you to come back to the other side. So look at what you do in your reincarnation in this body as years go by, and try to take the best to implement these three things that he relates in the first line: to learn, to work, and to serve. He continues saying, remember that the year in return is a new day calling you to fulfill old promises that you have not yet the courage to actually fulfill. Well, this is deep. Why? We can evaluate this paragraph in a different way. One, looking just 2018. What in 2018 I proposed myself to do that I had not courage, he said, not yet had courage to actually fulfill. He's not saying that you didn't fulfill because you are sick. You didn't fulfill because, someone dying. It's not. It's courage. So he's not pointing the negative thing, because the negative thing that happens in your life will happen either way. But what you promise, not to me, not to society, to yourself. What did you say, like, this year I'm going to do this? But the year finished, you didn't accomplish. It's not me, it's Emmanuel says. But also we can analyze this paragraph by look back the many reincarnations we had. That we missed the mark, we missed the boat, we missed the opportunity. And that is scary us. So, Daniel, how do I know what, I'm supposed to come here because I didn't do well this thing? Well, only us, in the deep of our feelings and through our self-evaluation, will realize what is in our life that we are procrastinating. Not having courage to do. What? We don't want to wait for death, disease to come to realize what we need to do it. I'm not here in a position to say, oh, Daniel, should I be a spiritist? No, whatever you are, even people that is watching this talk, in your life, are you supposed to, help your family, for example? Or to, engage in something that you help not only yourself, but other people? Or probably be a good family member, good father or good brother or good employee, and you are just procrastinating. You go to your work, you just don't work. You just like, waste your time and cash your money at the end of the month. So this is something that we need to put in our mind. And I think to start the year in this tone is important for us, because when we look outside and we see all the problem that is happening with our society, and then we should ask the question, how is my contribution for this situation? How I'm contributing for this situation? I ask this question all the time, We know that right now the government is in the shutdown because of political power, and we're not going to go to this problem because it's not my problem. But I have to think, I am doing my job well in order to help the community. So this is the question we need to ask, because at the end we're gonna see what Emmanuel finalized of Jesus' message. Beautiful. If you have enemies, make the hour reborn your path of reconciliation. So this is very clear to us. If you were offended, forgive so that love may enlighten your road ahead. I mean, if we feel offended, it's because there is something that we need to work in ourselves. When we see the high spirits, they never get offended. God never gets offended. We are the one that put word in the mouth of others. But only the person know when they get offended. If we got offended, it's because we should have a lot of things to work in ourselves. That's fine, because we are not perfect. We should go to those trials and situations in order to build strong muscles. If we rested too much, pick up the plow of your obligations, and courageously plant the good for the harvest to come. So, also very, very self-explanatory. We need to evaluate how much time we are using for goodness. And this, we are not here in the position to judge, because only you know how much time you are wasting and how much time you are really put to improve yourself, to improve others. So we need to think about this. If sadness visits you, forget it and seek for the serene joy of conscience in the duty well done. So we know that these feelings that we face sometime is a call for the soul to try to find what is missing. Because when someone, for example, when we feel sad, we need what is the root of sadness? Because what happened in our physiology is already a consequence of what in the spirit is not working well. So the physiology, the body is already like, the output of the source of the problem. So we need to treat the body, of course, but also we need to do this self-evaluation, go deep and see what's going on here, what, this feeling is visiting us. New year, new day. And the beauty of this sentence, new year, new day, we can use for new year, but we can use for daily as well. We can say new day, new opportunity. 1 hour from now is a new opportunity. Next month is a new opportunity. Every time we go to bed and wake up in the morning is a new opportunity. So also 365 days, after 365 days, we have another opportunity that we created. We, human, created. Because in the spirit world, this doesn't exist. Because we live according to our level of evolution. Smile to those who hurt you and look for harmony. Okay. Smile for those who hurt you and look for harmony with those who have not understood you until now. Well, it is not easy to smile when you get hurt. So what the step we can do it until one day we be able to smile. So probably not retaliation would be a good step to do it. Okay, I'm not able to smile. You just hurt me. You just said stuff to me, or to my country, for example. There is no conversation. But let's not go and retaliate. Let's not go and fight back, because then we create a problem to ourselves. Remember, there is more ignorance than malice surround your destiny. So we already know that if people are still doing bad things, it's because what? They didn't learn well. They still in a phase that, they need to go through very difficult pain to realize, to learn. So what their manual is put the bar very high. What he's proposing to us is that we should live trying to understand the level of each individual in this planet. And that's hard. That's very hard. We are included on this as well. Do not curse or condemn. It seems that curse and condemn and judge is the normal nowadays, isn't it? I mean, I don't know. I mean, when I was a child, there are words that you cannot say. And nowadays, in social media, everywhere, from the higher rank of politician to, uneducated people, it is the norm. What do? We show example, we don't. So it's very important for us, and especially here for parents, I think it's important for us to look at the new generation, especially those that is under our responsibility, and try to educate them not to see those things, do not curse and condemn, as the normal thing. So we have a real responsibility here. Help by sparking some light at those who pass by your side in the restlessness of darkness. Yes, so we need to be open all the time to observe, if someone is need of help, and do the best that we can. Do not either get discouraged or lose faith. This is very important, because sometimes it seems that thing doesn't happen the way that we expect, so we get discouraged. Cultivate the good cheers with those who come your way and are dominated by the coldness of disenchantment or indifference. Well, if someone comes distressed to us and we show some serenity, what's going to happen? We're going to offset that behavior. Do you pay attention when someone is very stressful, and if you come not showing stress a situation and try to calm down the person as you talk low, the person will also calm down? So because that's what the physical law. That's the physical law. If something is too far away, in order to bring to the middle, you need to also be in the other side, in order to achieve the equilibrium. So the same thing is for behavior, okay? If someone come and start to instigate a fight, and if there is not people that will minimize that, a fight will happen. It's the same thing happening in our life. That's why it's very important for us to look at who we are following with. Our friends, what we read, what we engage, because when we less expected, we are also manifesting the same behavior of others or a group of people. So this is something that we should realize. To finalize this message, beautifully Emmanuel says, do not forget that Jesus never despaired with us. Daniel, this is Jesus, so I'm not Jesus. Well, but he's our model. So that's what we need to mirror. The person that we need to mirror is the perfect Spirit. As if hidden by our side, he patiently and kindly repeats to us over and over, and we highlight, love and help always. Reach out to others, supporting yourself. Because if the day comes back tomorrow, I will be with you waiting for the sweet joy of the open door of your heart. So in another word, Jesus just make the invitation, but he finalized putting a big responsibility on us. Big responsibility on us. That we need to open our heart. So this Emmanuel, this message is like, if you read again and again, you're going to realize that he really is a cycle for us to find happiness, or to, he's not saying here the year is going to be beautiful, that everything is going to be joyful. That's not the message. The message is a responsibility that's come to us. So no matter what happened during the year, how we're going to face the situation in order for us to live a balanced life. You know? So this is our, I would say, main message, and I wanted to start with this message that is entitled New Year's Letter. Well, to start a new year, we don't want it to go back and repeat the same thing that every year we see it. You know, resolution, we lose weight, you know, people that smoke stop to smoke, people that drink less, people that eat too much. That's not the thing, because we can do this anytime during the year, okay? But I think what is important for us, because this affects our life, but also our evolution, whatever we do for our body, the only thing we are doing is just short the life of our body. But whatever we do in the moral field, we affect the rest of our life. And that's why we need to really pay attention where we're doing. And that's why when we look at those messages here, it's not, especially the message bring by the spirits, it's not a self-help book. It's not, you know? Because self-help become very superficial. It's like, you know, it's like you do these three things, we do this, and then to help. I'm not saying that books that's direct to help ourselves is not good. But this is message for our eternal life. Because the self-help is just a narrow part of our life. It's just like one major thing that we need to fix. You know, could be, I don't know, lose weight or be more patient. But this message, and when we read these New Year letters, is something that it is invite us to look not from here ahead, but also look in the back and see what was missing and what we can do today in order for us to achieve, you know, a better life in the future. So revisit why we strive to be better person. Well, Kardec asked this question: what differentiates us from animals? You know, it's a comparison. The incessant desire to better ourselves. It is this desire that drives us to seek out means of improving our situation. So this is in the Gospel, is a passage in the Gospel to explain that why we have every year or every phase of our human, we have this necessity to progress, to compare to other kingdom or animals or beings that is live in this planet. Because we are just talking here about the planet Earth. Well, because this is embedded in us. So we are created with this natural desire to always be better, to progress, to find happiness, you know. This is the main thing. Why we do things? We do things because we wanted to be in a situation that is a survive mode. So, and this is something that differentiate us from the animal kingdom. In the Spiritist book, there is a question 909. Could humans always overcome their evil tendencies through their own effort? Why we are repeating this question? Because we already brought this question in before. Because it seems that we forget, and we forget. We repeat this because we forget. That, especially like when we watching TV, when we see all this atrocity that happen, and we start to judge in our mind, oh my goodness, instead to try to understand the situation, we go down in our line of thought. We are not agreeing with the situation. Yet Kardec asked this question: could humans always overcome their evil tendencies through their own effort? And let's not only put it here, the atrocities that happen out there. Let's think about the little things that still need to be fixed inside of us. Our little evil tendencies, okay? Let us talk about this, because those that commit like crimes and other things that is really like not accepted, is easy to understand the question. But we can also apply this question to our little evil tendencies that we have, that society never is going to know, because it's only through our mind that goes those thoughts. The Spirit answers, yes, at some time with very little effort. What they lack, we lack, is willpower. How few of you make such an effort, however? So we highlight over there to say, look, to bring to ourselves that sometimes a change of habit doesn't need too much. It's just little effort. There's something that I learned, I think was over Christmas. I was watching New Year, sorry. My New Year, I was watching a live webcast from Mansão do Caminho in Brazil, where Divaldo and a group of friends was presenting. Beautiful, beautiful. So we just stopped like close to midnight, just to watch the Apple here. But until midnight was watching, like, was beautiful. With the internet nowadays and live broadcast, it's just sign up the channel, Mansão do Caminho, and you can follow Divaldo and other speakers live. I mean, from the comfort of your home, you can watch all this beautiful talk. I mean, some other people decide to watch other things, and that's okay. But I don't want it to get the end of last year and start new year. I wanted a positive message. I wanted to, listen things that really, okay, I can implement this in my 2019. And Juan Danilo, that is one of the speakers, he said something very interesting. He said, oh, that's beautiful what he's mentioned about resolution, because it was the new year, and why a lot of people fail when they make new year resolution, And he said a story that I don't know if it was true, but he said that, this gentleman, he wanted to lose weight. But he said, I cannot lose weight. He'll say, I'm not going to make this resolution because, majority of his day he was sitting, his job, and when he got home, he's sitting on the sofa and just watching TV, And the person gave a suggestion to him. And I said, okay, I'm going to do that because I need to also, go to this problem. The person said, look, you don't need to change much. You don't need to enroll in a gym and go and be starving to lose weight. That's not the goal. The goal here is change the habit. But then here comes the trick. How do you change a habit? So let's picture his habit. Wake up in the morning, drive to work, stay seated the whole day, come home, eat, sit in the sofa, watch all the late show program, whatever, and go to bed. Repeat this for 7 days. Maybe in the weekend, do something different. But look, if you do this like in 5 days of the week, it's a habit, isn't it? So, and he said, during the night, when I come home, I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to exercise. I want to watch my show. And the person suggests something to him and change his life. He said, okay, don't change anything. Don't enroll in gym. Don't change your diet. But start to do small thing. The small thing is like this. You like to watch your shows that take like 2 hours. So every time a commercial break comes, you stand up, you do some kind of exercise, go to the step, go back, and come to your sofa. That's it. Don't do anything drastic. So he starts to do this. So guess what? After like 1 month doing this, he feel the need that he need to run in the block. And after 2 months, he was already like, losing weight, because now he's changed the habit that starts with just a commercial break that is like 2 minutes. So I said, oh, that's interesting. So if you wanted to change a habit, don't aim yourself to do big thing. And I remember this question. Very little effort. Very little effort. Why? Because 1,000 miles starts with 1 step. So when we learn that to change our habit, we just need to change a small thing, we're going to be surprised. Because we have inside of us the power to change. But sometimes we prefer to not do it. Why? Because this willpower is not there. So we need to work with those things. Little things. And I think this really will help us in this new year. We brought here the example of lose weight because this is the number one, New Year's resolution. But you should survey yourself, identify what is something that you really could not do last year that you want to do this time. Could be in the relationship arena, could be in your workplace, could be here in the center. Could be, I don't know, your school, So it is up to us. We need to put our mind to work toward that. I wanted to play this video. I played last year, but what happened is the author of this video, he launched again the same video but with new illustration, and the illustration was nice. So I really wanted to play back this again because I think this highlight our message for the new year. Sarah, can you just turn off the light over there, please? Just set up. This is YouTube, so.
Have you ever noticed how some people just
let me jump
light up
the
a room
commercial
from the moment that they walk in?
Okay, so
Now,
okay.
One of my favorite stories is about a man. Now this man is walking down a path and finds an egg, an eagle's egg. He takes this egg and puts it into the nest of a backyard hen. Pretty soon, the eagle hatches with the chicks and grows up with them. Now, all his life, that eagle did what the chickens did. He would poke around in the dirt looking for worms and insects to eat. He would fly a few feet into the air like chickens do. He'd cluck around. And as time passed, that eagle, he grew very old. And one day, he saw something above him. This thing, it glided gracefully and majestically through the clouds. What's that? The eagle says. Oh, that's an eagle, one chicken responds. He is the king of all birds, the master of the skies. But we belong to the ground because we are just chickens. Don't worry about him. You will never be that. And that eagle lived and died a chicken because that is what he thought he was. This new year, it's time to take flight. You and me both know that you don't belong where you are right now. You don't belong with some of the people you're around right now. You got no business doing what you're doing right now. You're being a chicken when you were born an eagle. So now the question is, how long is it gonna take to make the decision, to make the shift, and show some courage, show some character? That word character is funny. You know, character is the ability to carry out a resolution long after the excitement of the moment has passed. I'm gonna say that again because some of y'all might have missed it. Character is the ability to carry out a resolution long after the excitement of the moment has passed. Are you gonna say you wanna do something, do it for 2 weeks and then quit like you did last year, like you did the year before last? You say you wanna lose weight, get in shape, get your business off the ground, get closer to God, and then turn around and party, get lit, drink alcohol, eat like crap, and continue to live below who you were created to be, thereby committing the greatest sin known to man? No. I'm not religious, but I'm gonna take you to church. Watch this. See the word sin. Watch this. See the word sin comes from the Greek word sin used in archery. It means to miss your mark. The greatest sin in life is to miss your mark, to not be who you were created to be a chicken instead of an eagle. I don't know if you guys remember growing up the story of Icarus. You know, a lot of people remember Icarus being this guy who had the wings made out of wax. His father cautioned him not to fly too high or the sun will melt your wings, and what happened? It was Icarus's arrogance that caused him to fly too high. Sun melted his wings and boom, fell to the earth dead. But that's not the full story. No. You didn't know there was more to it? See, Icarus's father also cautioned him against flying too low. He said, don't fly too close to the sea or your weight will cause you to plummet into the water. See, we all know not to be too arrogant. Well, most of us. But how many of us know not to be too humble, too meek, too timid, too shy, too safe? It is said that the greatest tragedy in life is not that people aim too high and miss. It is that people aim too low and hit. I see a lot of people on Facebook, everywhere, Instagram, talking about the friend zone. Laughing. He's in the friend zone, the hover hand. But I don't see too many people making jokes about the other zone, the comfort zone. Ain't no memes about that. Ain't no jokes. You know why? Because a lot of y'all are in there. Well, in this new year, let's step out of our comfort zone. Fortune favors the bold, and it is the cave that you fear, that will hold the treasure that you desire. Forget a New Year's resolution. Forget it. Let's make a new life resolution to be fully and authentically you. I don't know what dream you have, but I can guarantee you that there's somebody in the hospital right now praying, begging God to have the opportunity that you have right now. Don't blow it. It is time. It is time to go from mediocre to meteoric. It is time to go from being counted out to being counted on. It is time to fly like the eagle you are. Or do you want to continue to cluck with the chickens?
Beautiful, isn't it? we watched this last year. Do you guys remember? But this time, what he decided to do is just put some illustration that become more nice. So it's always good to listen and to watch positive message. So this is a very positive message for the new year. And there is one thing that he mentioned toward the end that really, for me, is important. Let's stop to make resolution every year. Let's make a life resolution, resolution for the rest of our life, because what passed is already past. And sometimes Leo and I would joke about resolution for eternity. That seems like too much, but if we just concentrate, we understand that, and sometimes for life we don't know what's going to happen 10 years from now, but because we don't know what's going to happen 10 years from now, so doesn't mean that we should not start today, And sometimes we feel ourselves like, okay, I'm not going to do this. I'm too old. I'm too, heavy, or I don't have, the time anymore. But look, just do it step by step, and you're gonna see that times fly fast, isn't it? Someone was tell me today through Facebook, because I posted a picture of Raphael, and the person said, look, you really aproveita, né? Take the time to spend, because when you look at back, you're gonna see that time's already passed. And we all know that. We all go through this, and if you stop and think about how long you have been here, how long this place here, the SSB now moving to 21st years, has been here. How many people has come and passed through here? And it seemed that was yesterday, isn't it? But 21 years already passed. And we should ask, how much we have evolved, like individually and as community as well. So to finalize, there is only other two messages. This message is from this spirit, Albino Teixeira. The story of this spirit, this person, is very interesting because, I researched about his life. I want to know about Albino Teixeira because we have so many beautiful messages from him. Through several books that Chico Xavier psychographed. In this particular message, he mentioned about why we suffer the most. So he said, what we suffer the most in the world, it is not the difficulty, it is the discouragement to overcome it. It is not the trial, it is the despair in face of suffering. It is not the disease, it is the dread of receiving it. It is not the unfortunate relative. It is the hurt of having them in the family team. It is not the failures. It is the stubbornness of not recognizing our own mistakes. It is not ingratitude. It's not ingratitude. It is the incapacity to love unselfishly. It is not our own submissive condition. It is the revolt against the superiority of others. It is not our pain. It is our wounded pride. It is not temptation. It is the lust to try its suggestions. It is not the aging of the body. It is the passion for appearances. How easy is to perceive a solution for any problem. Yet, the worst problem is the burden of affliction that we created, developed, and sustained against ourselves. Beautiful. Because he's not saying that, have difficulty or, have problematic people in our family is the problem. That's not what makes us suffering. What makes us suffering is the understanding, in one word, of the situation we are facing. So, and he finalized with this beautiful sentence about, that at the end, is the affliction that we create in others that will hurt ourselves the most. So I put the picture of Albino Teixeira because his life is so interesting. He died in 1923 in Brazil. He was from Rio de Janeiro. He was a spiritist. He was one of the director, practitioner of the Brazilian Spiritist Federation in Rio de Janeiro. And his biography, just Google his name and you're going to read about his life. We don't have time to go to all the detail, but there is one thing that caught my attention, is that his life was very difficult, as like our life, but he was very devoted to the Spiritist teaching, and he was living the message. Because a lot of people know the books, know how to speak, but the question is, we are putting this in practice? This is a question that sometimes we become very surprised when scandal happens, because we see, a message, but then later we see an act that's not in the same page of what the person is saying. So then, toward the end of his life, he was already old, so he got very sick, and he was not able to walk, so he became paralyzed for 2 years, and then he died. Guess what? During all this time that he was sick, he never complained. He never, think that was, an injustice from God. So everybody that used to come to visit him, the persons leave the place feel better than he was, because he was sick in the bed, and he has a circulatory problem that was make him incapable to walk. So, but then when he died, the next day, he came to Chico Xavier to give a message. That was his first message. And the message was about how was his transition, very peaceful, who was the spirit that was on the other side, receiving and help during the transition. We are talking about 24 hours here of death. And I was like, wow. So in 1980, in Rio de Janeiro, in a spirit center called Spirit Center Irmã Sheila came and gave a message about the life of this spirit. And the message talked about past reincarnation. He was a physician, he was an educator, he was a lot of things. And he did all this time, pre-reincarnation, everything well. So in this new life in Rio de Janeiro, he was a military, he was a good employee, people has no complaint. We're not saying that he was saint, but he displayed more positive action than the negative one. And Sheila said that he is in a very high level in the spiritual realm, and where he used to come time to time to give message. Never, if I'm not mistaken, there is no book psychographed by him, but a lot of books has message from him. And this is one of the message. And so here is something interesting, because as I was reading about him, I said, that's interesting. When we talk about all the spirits that came through Chico, the enlightened one, and brought message, we have a lot of spirit-led books that is psychographed by Chico and says, for example, Chico as the medium by several spirits. And among those several spirits, we all have message from Emmanuel, from André Luiz, and for other bunch of spirits that we, like Albino Teixeira is one of them. So here is something that is a good example for us. We don't need to be in the spotlight. To tomorrow be in a position that will, as Irmã Sheila says about this spirit, that he is collecting all the goodness that he has done in this past reincarnation. To finalize, we could not finalize this with a message by the benefactor Joana de Angeli, especially because this year we're going to have 2 books of her that we'll be studying here by Liu and Kissing. And this is a message in Happy Life. I believe you have seen this message before. We have been reading Happy Life a lot. The question is our life happy? I hope so. So she said, and is the invitation, in 24 hours a day, reserve a few moments for reflection. The person who proceeds without meditation loses contact with himself, him or herself. Correlated by the hands of the clock or out in front of them or behind them, he or she becomes confused and loses his or her way. A periodic review of goals and actions is indispensable to success. As you reflect, you will review your mistakes and have time to repair them. You can program your task and renew yourself more easily. Speak less, sleep a little less, and meditate more. Otherwise, wasted minute that you use for meditation will be transformed in point of light in your day. So this message, why we decide to read this message again? Because here is something that sometimes we miss the opportunity. The new year, there is no promise that the new year is going to be a piece of cake. In another word, it's going to be wonderful. We're going to have a lot of challenges. We don't know how much. Could be less, could be more than 2018. We don't know. Is by the way life in this planet is going through, we are not completely immune of problem. We know that. But the question here, and we'd like to finish, is how can we mitigate or minimize or decrease a problem when knocked in our door? Joana is bringing this to us, that we should take small time of our day to breathe in, breathe out. In fact, she's asking us to meditate. But Daniel, meditate. For how long? I don't know, 30 seconds, 1 minute. If you start for 30 seconds, then I believe the end of 2019, you are probably doing 15 minutes. Because then, for 30 seconds, you said, let me do 1 minute, and then 1 minute and a half, 2 minutes. So here, again, we bring that if you have made your resolution, don't be too hard on the resolutions. Just propose to do just a little bit. We brought here the Spiritist book, we brought Joana, and we brought Emmanuel to help us. And all of them is asking us to do just a little bit. Just a little bit. You know, if we are too impatient, 24/7, just let's do 25. You know, like 5 days. In 2 days, we reserve not to, to be worried. So here is the invitation. If you have any comment, and I believe we try to cover as much as we can. The video that we brought is just to reinforce, our nature. It's just to reinforce our nature. I mean, although he compared with chicken and eagle, and he brought also the example of Icaro, it's for us to make this evaluation and say, look, we are child of God. We were born with this nature to progress, to fly, So it's up to us. A new year has gone, or old year has gone, a new year has come, and we should be grateful because we are still in the physical body. We still have time. It's not saying that those that are not in the physical body should not be grateful. We all need to be grateful in the level that we are, because we have all the necessary tools to make the difference in our life as we make the difference in our life, we will make the difference in other people's life. I wanted to stop here and hoping for any comment. If not, we're going to move to our passes. But if you have any comment, any question, any experience you had that you wanted to share, this is the moment.
Thank you, Daniel, for bringing the messages. They are it's refreshing to start a new year. And one of the things that I was meditating, and I usually meditate by the end of one year, the beginning of the other, it has to be also with age in the physical body, that you start giving less importance to this change. Like, probably when you're younger, you are in a rush to go to a party or to do I don't know what, or to follow the traditions of your country, whatever it is. But the more you mature, I will say, you notice that it's just a change of time, right? It's another day. However, psychologically speaking, it has a great effect because you feel you are having a new chance and a new opportunity. So it is important to stop and meditate. So I was thinking recently, we can stop and have a new year whenever we want. Probably we won't have the ball in New York, but every time that we feel it's necessary for us to set new goals or to check our goals or to renew our resolutions, we can have a new year, and it's definitely is needed at the level of evolution of the planet. Higher spirits, they don't need this, but us, we still need the measures, the time and the space in order to function and keep moving to the future.
Thank you, Alba. Yes, yeah, I agree with you. Yes, and I think we should respect those phases that we go, because, of course, the propose here is not that you stop to celebrate, to do a party or to go to a party. Not this. It's just to reserve small time. And as we age, those small time become more important, and I can resonate with that as well. But again, since we are here and we cannot impose, if I talk to my daughter, probably she's in a teenage phase, so I have to also accept that is her time because we had our time, So thank you so much. I guess we're going to...